don't got none of ours up on the road. Jeez Louise. All right.
Richard, same. Just your thoughts, I guess, on how you guys came to the decision to not come out for the anthem today.
Oh, it was a long process. A lot of discussions happened. Took everybody's input. It's tough, you know, anytime you're doing something unique and want to take a stand, you know, when you have guys from so many different backgrounds, so many different cultures, so many different walks of life. And I think we did as good of a job as you can because we wanted to focus on the messaging. I think football for a long time, the players weren't even out there during the anthem. And now that's become kind of a distraction away from the message that these guys are trying to present. You know, there is inequality out there. You know, there isn't liberty and justice for all. And I think guys for a while, I mean, at least a year now, have been protesting that by taking a knee, sitting down, putting up the fist, et cetera, et cetera. But their voices were watered down. They were kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? They were drowned out. They were drowned out by the noise because people were saying, oh, you're kneeling during the national anthem, but these are the same people that today during the Patriots game are booing guys during the national anthem. You know, they don't see that as disrespect. It's really a strange hypocrisy that we see, but people don't seem to see it when they're doing it. So as a team, we wanted to do our best to not ostracize our guys, any of our individuals, allow them to feel welcomed, and not really make them uncomfortable. You know, that's the worst thing you could do as a teammate is put your teammate in an uncomfortable position. You know, we don't go out, the whole team doesn't come out, then it's easier for him to defend himself, say, hey, it's a team decision. I just did what the team did. You're a good teammate, perfect, fine. But if you get out there and you ask a guy to kneel or sit, going against his values, going against his family, you know, you put him in weird spots. So we never want to do that. We think that we did a good job getting our message out and trying not to distract from it.
Were there other proposals that people brought up and there was pushback and you guys said, no, I don't want to do that before you guys?
There were tons of proposals. I mean, we sat there for hours. They sat there for 2 hours, and then we got to team meeting and we sat there for another hour and a half because it's one of those topics, man. This is a world-changing, life-changing event, once in a lifetime. So you have to capture a moment like that, and the moment doesn't affect everyone the same. You know, some people, it's a moment that has no effect, has little effect. It won't, you know, move their needle either way, which is fine. But they sympathize with their teammates, so they do want to do something. You know, whether going out there and sitting down during the national anthem for some guys was unacceptable, and that's fine. And that's fine. We made that decision with that in mind. For some guys, they wanted to. You know, there was a suggestion that we kneel with the flag half-staff because that symbolizes that there's an issue going on in our country. And there is, obviously. So there were a ton of things thrown around, but I think we came to a good decision and we stand by it.
How much did you consider all of you going out and not standing, either sitting or kneeling?
Well, anything we did, we had to be unified when we did it. So if we went out there and we couldn't get everyone to kneel or everyone to sit or everyone to lock arms or everyone to do something, then there was no point in doing it. It's not as powerful. You know, we've been in a time where there's 2-3 guys. You know, I think there were 27 with Jacksonville today who kneeled. Baltimore had a good number of guys, but it doesn't show the kind of power unless it's the entire team. And not only did we get our team to do it, but we got the Tennessee Titans to do it too, and that just shows the strength of our league and the strength of our union and our unity. They're still our opponent. You know, we still went out there hard-fought battle. They came out victorious. But today was something bigger than that before the game.
How much communication was there between you and the Titan organization, the Titan players on this?
Oh, there was a ton of communication. There was a ton of back and forth throughout the day, the night. There was some talks between players on other teams, the Denver Broncos, the Cowboys, et cetera, because guys don't, you know, we're trying to be on the same page. Guys want to do right by their people. They want to take a stand. They understand that things happening in this world are not right, and that if we have a platform to make a difference and to make a change and to help millions of lives be better, or at least bring awareness to the situation, then we will. And I mean, guys like Von Miller, were I don't know what he ended up doing, but we were in discussions till right before game time.
What did it mean to have them follow your lead and obviously back you up on this?
Who? I'm sorry.
Titans.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome, but you know, I got to give them credit. They were discussing this just as much as we were discussing it beforehand. I think it was to the twilight hour before we came to a decision that we were all going going to do it because it was more powerful. It's more powerful if both teams make a stand and put out a statement. So you got to give them their credit, for having those discussions, those difficult talks too.
What does this moment mean to you? You talked about kind of this moment in time, what it means to you.
It means strength. It means hope. It means there's a chance. It means we have enough people that care enough, that are selfless enough to sacrifice for the greater good of others. When you do something like this, even as a team and as an individual, you're putting yourself in harm's way. You're putting yourself with a bullseye on your back, and we're putting our teammates in that. But in order to make a point, in order to be like the Muhammad Ali's, the Malcolm X's, the Martin Luther Kings, you have to do that. You have to take those tough roads instead of taking the easy road. Today we could have went out there, played a ball game, did nothing, just played it normal. And I'm sure there were some teams that went out there and did that, and that's fine too. That's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes you have to take it upon yourself to go out there and represent the people that are the same skin tone as you, the people that are still suffering out in the streets and being treated a certain way, and you want to make sure that they understand that we're with them too.
You got pretty hot there with the fish off of that pass interference call. Can you walk through that and what you thought?
Yeah, I didn't think it was a great call. I didn't think it was the right call. I don't know if you guys saw the tape. What did you think of it? Did you see the tape?
Yeah, it was could have gone either way.
Yeah, but so on that play, I read the play right. I undercut it. I jumped it. I cut the route off. Cam caught the ball, and the flag came after Cam caught the ball. You don't have a problem with the flag being called. They call what they call. But when it happens after a big play, then it kind of raises some eyebrows. It raises some suspicion. And then his explanation was very poor. That's what I was trying to get to. I'm like, what did you see? What prompted you to throw a flag? And he's like, get away from me. Get. And it's like, wait, I can ask what you saw. I'm not disrespecting you in any way. I want to know what you saw so I can correct my decision. Correct it. And he's like, just get away. You better get away before I flag. And it's like, then the flag came. It's like, okay, you flagged me for taking my helmet off and asking a question, but it was our ball. I was literally about to jog off to the sideline, and you call a flag. So I thought that was a poor call, and had a huge impact on the game because that's a turnover. We played the play right, did everything we were supposed to do, and then you make that call. So his explanation was that I had pulled Eric by inside jersey or something like that, which is a strange call for him to make because we're face to face and he's at Eric's back. So it's either you have X-ray vision or I'm missing something. So I thought I'm trying to I need a better explanation than that because there's no way you saw anything from that angle. I didn't do it, but there's no way that could be your explanation. If you say I pulled him at the top, I swung myself through, or something crazy like that, then I could believe it. But that we need better than that in a big game. Where both teams fighting.
What your hit on Mariota, was that out of anger?
No, he's still in bounds. So I play into the below the whistle. If the quarterback slides or kind of gives himself up or does something like that, then you stop. But if there's still yards that he's gaining, you're taught to play to the whistle. I mean, it's so crazy that the way the game is nowadays. I mean, he came up to me and said good hit because he understood that I'm playing to the below the whistle. I'm not waiting until you took 2 steps out of bounds, and it's a game of inches, so you can't give up anything. And it's just one of those plays. It's football. It seems like the world is getting a lot softer in terms of the way it's officiated and the way it's seen, but it's football at the end of the day.
What did Mariota say there?
He said good hit.
It was right after the play, or?
Yeah, he tapped me on the butt, good hit, and went back to the hoop.
Was that energy you could have used in the second half? Did you think that was misspent energy?
What, hitting him?
And with the officials in the first half? And
No, I thought it was necessary energy because did you see the offensive PI they called later on? Did you see the holding call? You know what I mean? It was necessary energy. Those are obviously makeup calls, but obviously it helped our team and held them out of scoring range. I hate makeup calls just as much as the next man, but if you don't call that play, and if you don't call it in the first place, then we don't have to make it up.
Is that what you're thinking at that point? Once you see that you're not getting an explanation, or you're thinking, well, I got to get something in here for later on in the game?
No, I went to other officials and asked them because I want to know. I want an explanation. It's nothing wrong with calling a foul. You call PI, they call PI all the time. But they'll say, hey, you grabbed his shoulder. Hey, your hands went to his face mask. Hey, But when a guy gives you no explanation and just tells you to get back to the huddle, it's like you're not giving me an explanation because you don't have one. Then it makes you suspicious of the call.
Did you feel the effects of being on the field for as long as you were in the first half?
I don't know. I have no idea how long we were on the field, but no, I mean, we were playing. So I felt the effects of trying to play punt return and give my rookie a break. So, you know, you think it was a good idea when I started to do it. And then after about the third one, I was like, what are you doing out here? I got an attitude with Noe because the first one I ran 60 yards, blocked the guy great, and then he flare caught it or something. Or the ball dropped at the 5 and bounced to the end zone. It's like I just used every bit of energy I could, and the ball bounced on the 5 into the end zone. Thanks.
The anthem, what do you think's next now?
I don't know. I don't know what's next. With the president, what's next? I don't know. You know, your guess is as good as mine. Today I'm a black man in America. Tomorrow I'll be a black man in America. That is all I know is true.
Richard, if you were president of the United States, what would you do to bring the country together?
I would stop dividing it. I would talk to people like I had some sense. You know what I mean? I wouldn't talk from a pedestal. I would talk even kill with everybody. You know, I would try to help as many people as you can. You don't have to be divisive. I don't have to call anybody a SOB. I can say I don't agree with it. I can say I don't agree with their methods. I don't agree with the way things are going. But I don't have to say there are fine people on both sides when there are people running around with swastikas. I would never do that. You know, I would condemn them as much as we condemn that regime. And there are patriots out there that say they're patriots and say, man, I'm just conservative. I'm just conservative. I'm alt-right. And that's fine. You know, politics are politics. But sometimes you got to put politics aside and understand you're dealing with human beings. Put politics aside and realize this is the fellow man. You know, this isn't about, oh, I'm alt-right, I'm conservative, I'm Republican. It's they're running around with swastikas. That's wrong. Put your political affiliations aside. That's wrong. There's no place for this anywhere in the world. And you can condemn both sides if that's what you have to do. If there's violence on both sides, they're wrong on both sides, condemn both sides. But you can't say there's fine people on both sides when one side's running around with swastikas and I'm looking for the fine people. I think those are the things that I worry about in this country. But if I was president, you know, I wouldn't have all the answers. I'm sure there would be people around me smarter than me that could help me. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.